anybody. Not even Miss Rogers. Oh, I'd like to see her poison. But I could never do it myself. I wonder who it really is. Don't look at me. You needn't play so innocent, Bertie. We won't tell on you. But it wasn't me. I wouldn't have the heart to use rat poison to poison a rat.
Oh, we got to do something about that woman in there. I don't like her attitude with Mr. O'Finn.
What are they doing?
Oh, they're just talking. But that's not Miss Rogers' fault. Mr. O'Finn, however, is a perfect gentleman.
Of course. Well, we better hurry up before they come back and... Now, how are we going to arrange it? Well, we could all hide our eyes. That's a good idea, Bertie. But we might hear who it was going over to the tea tray. I can tell your walk by the way your bones creak.
I don't creak.
Yes, you do, like an old stagecoach.
Well, I'm not old enough to remember how stagecoaches creak, but maybe you...
Oh.
Carl! I have a suggestion. Here, I'll set the rat on the tea tray next to Miss Rogers' cup. And then, like Bertie says, we'll all hide our eyes, and then one at a time, we'll all walk over to the tray, and the one that poisons Elizabeth can put a spoonful of poison into Miss Rogers' cup.
But how do we know which cup is hers?
Well, this is my good set, and there's a tiny nick in this cup. So we'll give her this. Good, a cup and a nick. Now everybody hurry. I tried. Now, who's first? You, Bertie. Hurry up.
I'm finished and I didn't creak. Oh, yes, you did. Is it all right if I go next? Yes, here I go. Talk about creaking. That's the floor, not me. Oh, my. Let's see. Is there the one with the nick in it? Starting good now. All right. I'm back home now.
Here I go. Don't anybody peek. Oh, goodness. I can't tell one cup from another.
Well, if you're going to use a rat poison, at least put it in the right cup.
I'm not going to put it in.
Listen to her trying to sound so innocent. She's the one I really suspect.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hush up, will you? Are you done yet, Amanda? I'm almost finished, Hildegard. Be patient. I'm finished. I just wanted to be sure which cup not to drink out of.
Well, it's my turn. I'm up. What'd she say? She said she's off.
I feel so wicked, like Lucretia Borgia. Do you think that means she's putting the poison in?
One never knows what Nettie means.
Oh, I'd like to put some poison in this cup.
For heaven's sakes, Nettie, if you're not the one who did it before, don't start now. If there's too much poison in the cup, it may not taste like tea.
Oh, you're right. I just have to control myself. Well, I'm finished. And I'm back now. Oh, that leaves me. Hurry up, Hildegard. I'm hurrying. Well, I'm the last one, so I'll take the package of rat poison, and I'll hide it.
Well, that's a good idea, Hildegard. We wouldn't want to leave it right on the tea tray.
No, we certainly wouldn't. Well, I'm finished. You can all look now. We finished just in time. Yes, we did.
What did you finish in time?
Oh, fixing the tea. Of
Yes,
course. Now let's all sit down.
I don't think I care for any tea today. I simply must get back to the office. Dennis, are you coming with me?
Oh, but you have to drink
Yes,
the tea.
yes.
We've already poured it.
We've got the steak. That's all there is to it.
Dennis, why do you humor these creatures?
I'm not humoring them. No, I like the tea they serve here. On the biscuits or the fine. Now, if you like to get back to the office, why don't you just go ahead?
Oh, no, you don't. You're not going to escape that easy. If you're going to stay and drink tea, so am I.
Oh, that's good. We're so glad. Now, Miss Rogers, you Miss Rogers, do set in Elizabeth's place. Somehow it seems the proper place for you.
I don't exactly know how to take that comment.
Sure you're not superstitious, are you, Miss Rogers?
Well, of course not. Say, was that tea which this Elizabeth drank the poison in?
Yes, it was tea. But Mr. O'Finn took that batch down to the police station with him.
But I thought you said you bought some more rat poison today.
Well, we did, but would you care to look in our kitchen? We know there's nothing unusual in our tea.
Oh, we know there's nothing in the tea, don't we?
Nettie, watch yourself. Would you care to investigate, Miss Rogers?
Oh no, I suppose I can drink this tea if everyone else does.
That's the spirit, Miss Rogers.
Yes, drink up.
Why is everyone looking at me?
Oh, we're just being polite. You've read the etiquette books, haven't you, Miss Rogers?
Well, of course.
Oh, I know what's wrong. We haven't offered her any sugar.
That'll do
There
it.
you go. Nice and sweet.
I don't take sugar, thank you. I couldn't possibly drink this tea now with all this sugar in it.
Well, you've got it spoiled everything now, haven't you, Nettie?
Nothing's been spoiled at all. Here, I'll take that cup. I like lots of sugar in my tea.
Oh, no, Mr. O'Finn, don't drink that tea. No, I watched you when you were here yesterday. You didn't touch sugar at all. Here, let me have that cup.
Now, Miss Hildegard, I know how careful you must be around here about not wasting anything. So I'm not going to waste this.
Oh, it needn't go to waste. Nettie likes lots of sugar. Nettie will drink that cup.
I don't think I want it.
You drink that cup, Nettie. You put the sugar in it.
Oh, here, I'll take it.
I insist.
And we'll start
I
off.
feel some drinking.
Give me that cup. Oh, the cup is broken. And it was from my best set. Nettie, you'll pay for that cup.
I'll pay for it, Hildegard. I'll pay for it.
Oh, Hildegard.
It was a choice you simply had to make. It was either the cup or Mr. O'Finn.
But it was from my best set.
Well, it was the cup with the Nick in it.
Oh, that's right. It's not nearly so bad when you look at it that way. In that case, I think I'll take Mr. O'Finn.
Ladies, what is this all about?
Dennis, I told you they were all screwy. Now can we please leave?
The tea's cold now anyway.
Then you don't mind Miss Hildegard if we leave? This little accident did kind of spoil the party, I think.
The real point, Mr. O'Finn, is when are you going to get around to investigating our murder?
Well, I don't know. There's murders happening every day, you know.
You're not coming back.
Well, I just...
Miss Rogers, you going to put that article in your paper?
Dennis and I had a little discussion about that. And we decided that it wouldn't be good for my newspaper to give the police department any bad publicity. That's our decision temporarily. In fact, we were wondering if there really was a murder. Well, of course, there's the fact that a lady was poisoned, but there's no proof. Maybe you were just looking for a little excitement and decided
appreciate this.
I really don't have anything to give her. My pearls were all I had. But do you think it would be proper? It isn't very expensive, but she liked it. She used to try to steal it from me sometimes. But besides looking nice, I think Nanny ought to smell
Yes, she
nice.
should.
Well, are we just about ready? Mr. O'Finn should be here any minute now. Oh, Nanny does look pretty, doesn't she?
Best she's looked in 20 years. No, even though she's dead, I think she senses Mr. O'Finn is coming over. See her face? She's smiling.
She's smiling.
Oh,
Mr. O'Finn! Oh,
Well, what is it this time? Or maybe I should say, who is it?
Our dear Nettie. Nettie Norton, she's dead. She's over there on the sofa.
The usual place, huh?
Well, we think they're more comfortable on the sofa. Just like Elizabeth. Too bad, Nettie. Yes, it was.
Well, she's dead, all right.
of course, we knew that.
This is what your strategy led to?
What are you talking about?
They staged one murder to get you here, but you wouldn't stay long enough to please them. So now we've got another murder.
But we don't know yet whether it's murder.
Oh, let's don't pretend, Dennis boy. You've been the motivation for another crime. Now what are you going to do about it?
Okay, let's have the story. I suppose she was drinking tea.
Oh, no. We haven't been drinking tea lately. That is, unless we all sit down together, so we can keep an eye on the others. We've been too frightened this week. After all, Mr. O'Finn, you left us here at the mercy of the murderers. No wonder we've been so scared lately.
Now, see here. Don't try to blame this on me. And let me warn you about one thing. Everything's business from here on. We'll have no more tea parties. From now on, we're going to treat you rough.
We're going to be treated well. What are you going to do? I know what I want him to do with me. I want him to sit me down in a chair and shine a bright light in my eyes and give me the third
Stop it! I said there wasn't going to be any nonsense this time. Now let's get down to business. Who discovered the body?
I did.
Okay, tell me about it.
Well, it was just about time for us to have our afternoon tea. We were going to drink together, of course. And I came in from the kitchen, and when I saw the body, I was so surprised, I dropped the dish tray. It's over there, you see. We know how to act when there's been a murder. Yes, we've had
I see that.
I broke all of my dishes, too.
I happen to remember, Miss Hildegard, how valuable your dishes were to you. So you must have really been surprised when you broke all those dishes.
Oh, I was indeed.
But why were you so surprised when you've been telling me all this time that you knew there was a murderer in this house and that you needed police protection?
Well, it isn't every day I stumble across a corpse in my parlor.
Not every day, but it's been frequent lately. Now, what about the rest of you? Where were the rest of you when Miss Hildegard discovered the body?
Oh, we were all upstairs. I was having my beauty treatment. My mud pack. That old mud pack, it's a waste of time.
It's not. It's been taking the lines out of my face. I look 10 years younger.
That still leaves you
Oh,
70.
hush, Lucy. Mr. O'Finn, she's lying to you about my age.
She's
She's old.
I don't know what to believe at this point. Now let's stick to the subject. You say you were all upstairs?
Yes, we were all upstairs when we heard the horrible crash of dishes and Hildegard screamed. And I said to myself, I bet I know what that is. And there was Lucy and Bertie across the hall. And it was definitely Hildegard screaming. So I said to myself, I bet Nettie has been murdered. And sure enough,
Naturally, old man. I'm
they hurried right down. She was lying right beside the couch. So we knew it wouldn't be hard to boost her up and put her where she'd be more comfortable.
And you sort of dressed her up, just like you did the other ones.
Sure, O'Finn. For you, naturally.
Kramer, can't you find anything else to do besides make smart remarks? Why don't you pick up those broken dishes?
Okay, okay.
Oh, Mr. O'Finn, how do you like the perfume Nettie is wearing?
You mean you put perfume on her eyes?
Well, of course. After all, it's the biggest moment of her life.
Yes, it
And
is.
it's quite a picture.
That'll be the voice of the morgue. I'll get it. Come in. anymore.
Oh, we didn't. At least not unless we were all together, so we could watch the others. Nettie was more afraid than anyone. She didn't drink tea at
What
all.
all did she drink?
Buttermilk.
Johnson, go into the kitchen and see if you can get any clear prints on any bottles of buttermilk or packets of rat poison.
Buttermilk and rat poison coming right up.
I have no doubt she was poisoned. On the principle, probably prove who did it. Now, does the guilty party want to confess and save us all some trouble? Okay, I should have known you wouldn't. Then could anybody give me any information that might lead to solving the murder? Okay, I see it's going to be just like last time. Well, let me remind you all of something. You all agreed that there was a murder in this house. And you all said you were frightened. But we seen the killer strike a second time. Don't you realize what kind of danger you're all in? Well, if you hold back information, you might just be letting the killer remain free that much longer. Maybe, just maybe long enough to strike a third time.
Oh, dear.
Yes. Do you have any clues, Bertie?
Do you? I wish I did, but I don't.
Can't anybody tell me anything? All right, you asked for it. The captain down at the headquarters is going to find it very strange that there's been 2 murders in the same house. And if they're not solved, well, he's going to blame me. And he'll have me back in uniform and pounding a beat. And with these feet on mine. So you see, ladies, I've got to find out who's been spiking the buttermilk and the tea around here. So I'm not going to leave this place until I do.
Do you think it's quite proper, though? We've always just had lady boarders here.
Well, it's up to me to say what's proper in this house. After all, there are 2 rooms vacant now, Elizabeth and Nettie. What he could have his chance. Just imagine, Mr. O'Fim for breakfast and for dinner every day. And on his day off, for tea besides.
Girls,
But
wait!
he'd have to pay for it too, just like everybody else. In fact, he'd have to pay twice. Well, he'll eat twice as much as any of us, you know.
You're so mercenary.
Well, I have to be. After all, I've already lost 2 boarders, and I didn't invite you people here because I liked your company. Well, if Mr. Olsen can't pay his room and board, we'll all chip in.
Hey, stop it! Let me get a warning. I didn't say I was going to move in.
Hey, Finn, there's one thing for sure. If you moved in, there wouldn't be any more murders here.
That's
Well,
right.
it'd have to be.
Once and for all, I'm not moving in. I'm just going to stay here until I solve these 2 murders.
But that may take a long time, Mr. O'Finn, and you haven't found any clues at all yet.
Don't worry, I'll find some. Hey, Johnson, are you through in there?
Y'all some prints have been. Can't throw it off whether it belongs to just one person or more than one, but I do have some prints.
All right, then I want you to take all the prints of all these ladies here.
Age 4 years.
That's right. Oldest always goes first.
Yeah.
Young man, what do you think you're doing?
Lady, I have to do this. I have to take each finger and ink it and then roll on the paper and make sure we get a complete print.
But you were holding my hand.
Lady, don't worry. As far as we're going to go, I promise you.
And of course, we'll make sure of what Miss Nettie died of. But meanwhile, I think it's safe to assume that there was arsenic poisoning in it. But now, what about the rest of you? Did anybody else ever drink any buttermilk?
No, there's nobody else. It wasn't furnished with a regular board. Nettie always bought it herself at the grocery store.
Then the murderer knew who was going to be murdered.
Must have, but it was Nettie's own fault. She should have known better than to drink buttermilk. Awfully easy to slip a white powder like rat poison into buttermilk.
Yes, but poor Nettie wasn't very bright. Mama, it's your turn to be thinking.
Now see here, young man, I don't want to get my fingers soiled.
No other way of doing it, ma'am.
Miss Lucy, please cooperate.
All right, if you say so, Mr. O'Finn.
Now let's continue. So, the murderer knew it was going to be Miss Nettie, who would be poisoned when she put the rat poison in the buttermilk. But why would she want to poison Miss Nettie?
Oh, Finn, you're going around in circles. You know the answer to that question and you get nowhere by asking it. We know the motive, man, and there's no use pretending that there's any other motive.
Shut up, Kramer!
I won't shut up. It's obvious to me that Miss Nettie was killed for only one reason. Well, there had to be another murder to get you back into the house.
That's true.
And Miss Nettie was a handy victim, simply because it's so easy to slip something like rat poison into something like buttermilk.
Oh, that's very clever. But Mr. O'Finn should have thought of it.
Mr. O'Finn would have thought of it, except that he's too busy trying to pretend to himself that these murders have been happening for a different reason than the real reason. O'Finn, my boy, you're in a spot.
I'm not denying
I
that.
can see it all now. Here we have two murders that can't be solved. We know the motivation, but the same motivation applies to all the suspects. So you know what's going to happen? We'll keep on having murders. 3 more murders till we're down to just one of these ladies left alive. Then we'll have the guilty one. O'Finn, that's the only way to solve this case.
Oh, dear.
And that's the way it is, ladies. Your great O'Finn is stumped.
Mr. O'Finn, and we were all thinking that you were a smart detective. If I had a pen, Mr. O'Finn, I'd give it to you. And if I had anything to confess, I'd confess. So would I.
Look! I don't want any pity from any of you. Now let's get on with the fingerprinting. Miss Hildegarde, it's your turn. And do be quiet, Kramer. Police work is scientific these days. Well, science will lick this problem.
Science will never lick these old ladies, O'Finn.
Mr. O'Finn, we're all on your side. We know you can do it. Oh, young man, watch what you're doing. You pinched my finger.
Beg your pardon, ma'am. You've got to hold still.
Hey, O'Finn, come here a minute. Here's a funny thing.
What's on your mind?
Well, I've been playing around with these broken dishes. And remember, the landlady said she was coming downstairs with a tea tray where she discovered the body. She said that she was so surprised that she dropped everything in her surprise. Well, it's just out of curiosity, kind of. And there's a funny thing. I can't find handles for any of the cups.
No handles?
Not a one.
Well, do you think it means anything?
How do I know? You're the smart detective. Maybe it's a clue, or maybe it isn't.
Well, if it's a clue, it's our first one. I guess we shouldn't be proud. Ladies, Mr. Kramer's just discovered an odd thing. What? He's been examining the dishes that Miss Hildegarde dropped and broke. He's been trying to put the pieces back together. And there are no handles for any of the cups.
Is that a clue, Mr. O'Finn?
But I don't know. But now Miss Hildegarde said she didn't touch anything. Well, she left everything as it was for the police. Now, what about the rest of you? Did anybody else touch those broken dishes?
Certainly not. Not me.
Why should we touch the broken dish?
That's what I'm going to find out. Who meddled with the broken dishes? Why they did it? And where are the missing cup handles?
Oh, that is a clue, Mr. O'Finn. We'll help you look.
Oh, no, you don't. We'll do our own looking.
Oh, I wonder who that could be. They're interrupting our visit. There's probably a gentleman coming to call. He's coming to see me.
Dennis, I was looking for you down at the headquarters, and the desk sergeant said you were at 90960. Oh, there are only 4 left. Has there been another murder?
A brilliant deduction. There's been another murder, all right.
Which one this time? Oh, it doesn't matter. They were all alike.
Now, see here, you young hussy, I
Take
will.
it easy, Grandma.
I am not a grandmother.
Oh, that's right. You never got a husband, did you?
Oh,
Gee, you needn't be so nasty with this lady.
Still defending them, Dennis, even after another murder?
I just don't want you to be insulting them, that's all.
Why? Because they're somebody's mothers? They're just a bunch of old maids.
Jane, I'm warning you.
No, I'm warning you, Dennis, dear. Now Now, why, I wonder, was there another murder? We told them, didn't we, that the first homicide was probably an accident, wasn't it? And then you said you were going to stay away from the house because maybe it was just an accident and they were just dramatizing it so they could have the company of a big, intense policeman. But then your little scheme of ignoring the background, they didn't want to ignore it. They wanted another murder just so you know. My, the behind-the-scenes possibilities of this get better all the time.
Gene, we've already discussed this.
Yes, we've discussed this, but not very satisfactory. And besides, the story gets better all the time.
Say, old Ben, I've got all the prints, haven't I? Can I go now?
Sure, go ahead. Get me the results as quick as you can.
It's like we're taking fingerprints now, are we? Getting very scientific. I presume you haven't solved the case yet.
No, I haven't solved it.
It's becoming more and more interesting. Now I wonder how you're going to keep this out of my paper. It's a story that's crying to be printed.
Gene, we already agreed that there wasn't
We
getting right.
agreed, but it wasn't a very satisfactory agreement. And besides, after we agreed, you stood me up twice in the same story. Now the story has gotten better. The price of silence is going up.
How can you do this to me? You know how they take this story down to the department, and I'd be rude.
So you've got two problems to solve. Who killed the old ladies and how to keep the motivation quiet.
Well, I'm working on the first problem, can't you see? And you're interrupting me. And we'll have to discuss the second problem in private.
You're just stalling like you did the last time. The story's hot. It can't wait.
Come into the kitchen a minute, will you?
With you? How exciting. Of course I'll go in the kitchen.
Well, I'd like to know what's going on in there. Right in my own kitchen, too.
You mean you don't know?
Well, if I knew, I wouldn't be asking now, would I?
Well, maybe you ought to know, though I doubt you'd understand. For one thing, this is all your fault. You were the ones responsible for this dame getting in on this. You had to call the reporter.
We had no idea the reporter was going to be a dame.
Okay, but that's the way it happened. And of all the dames it had to be, this Jane Rogers is the worst. She's an old maid too, if you'll pardon the expression. And whatever it is, my boy Dennis O'Finn seems to have some kind of special attraction for old maids. Well, she fell for the same reason you all did.
Oh, we did not fall for him.
Don't play innocent now. One of you four committed two murders. No less. Just to get our hero in here and investigate. Well, Jane Rogers fell too. And she threatened to print the real story on O'Finn's fatal charm. It was a good story, and she wanted to write it. But then she started liking O'Finn better than she did the story. So she told O'Finn that she might not print the story if he'd do certain things.
What then?
Oh, don't be so dim, Samantha. I may be the oldest one here, but I'm not too old to remember what they did.
Anyway, she's given O'Finn a Mary Chase this past week. He did his best to stall her off. He made dates with her and didn't keep them. And that's why he's in hot water with her now. And every time you gals commit another murder, well, the water gets hotter.
Well, are we to understand Mr. O'Finn does not care for this Rogers dame?
You guessed it. Now understand that Dennis doesn't care for the fair sex. He does, but no single one in particular. He likes to spread his charm around. That's why he's gone through life as a bachelor.
And Miss Rogers is chasing him, isn't she?
You should know.
Oh, I can tell. I chased my Herbert for years. And Mr. O'Finn doesn't want to be caught any more than Herbert did.
Well, he is caught, though. The Rogers dame has the goods on him. She can print a story that can kill him. Now, what's he going to do?
Well, if he can't do anything for himself, we've got to help him.
Well, hold on to your seats. We have something to tell you.
What is it, O'Finn?
Gene will tell it.
I think the girls will appreciate this. Sit down. This will shock you. Now, I know how fond of Dennis you all were. All of you. And of course, one of you really went overboard for him. Whichever one of you's been playing with the arsenic on him.
He weren't playing.
And I really am thankful to you because you're the ones who arranged for me to meet Dennis. I'll tell you what happened. Dennis and I are engaged.
Oh, dear. It is not like Mr. O'Finn. Say it isn't so.
But I'm afraid it's true.
Oh, dear. Oh, you'll be moving away, I suppose. That snug little apartment won't be big enough for the company.
Well, I guess sweetheart she is.
What did you say? Sweetheart?
Here's a glass of water. Now drink this and you'll feel a lot better.
Did you hear that? He called me his sweetheart. He said you were a sweetheart. Not his sweetheart.
That's right.
But I meant my sweetheart. No, in fact, all of you are my sweetheart.
For heaven's sakes, Dennis O'Finn, you're acting like an idiot.
Now come with me. Let's get out of this nut house.
Mr. O'Finn is on duty investigating our murder. He has to stay in this nut house until he's solved.
That's right, Jane. But I can't leave my job.
Your job, O'Finn. I'm not marrying you for your brilliant detective work. These old ladies have pulled the wool over your eyes from the very beginning. You haven't the faintest idea who the murderer is. You haven't got a single clue.
I'll have you know we've uncovered a very important clue. Well, these dishes I'm talking about. Miss Hildegard was carrying the tray in from the kitchen when she dropped everything, and when she discovered the body, and she broke everything. But now Kramer has been trying to put the pieces back together, and there are no handles for the cups.
And do you seriously call that a clue?
Of course.
Well, then what does it mean?
We don't exactly know what it means yet.
For pity's sakes, Dennis, what's a clue worth if you don't know what it means? I'm telling you, this kind of detective work is just not for you. If you think you've got a clue there, you're dumber than I think.
Well, if you think he's so dumb, why do you want to marry him?
That's my business, Grandma.
Well, all of us here have perfect confidence in Mr. O'Finn. We know he'll find the murderer.
Well, you may have confidence in him, but I don't. If I lived in this house, I wouldn't eat or drink a thing here.
Dearie, if I were you, I wouldn't either.
Ladies, please.
Oh, Mr. O'Finn, that is a clue, the cup handle. You just go ahead and show that dang how smart you are.
Okay. But will you all shut up and give me a chance to think?
Yes, everyone be quiet. Mr. O'Finn is thinking.
I can hear the rusty wheels going around.
Miss Rogers, while Mr. O'Finn is thinking, would you like me to go out and get you a cup of tea?
Oh, Hildegard, isn't it a good thing that those broken dishes weren't in your good stand?
Oh, yes, Hildegard. It would have been a shame if you would have broken your best dishes.
Ladies, what is this all about?
Those weren't Hildegard's good dishes. She saves those for when we have company.
Like you. She has lots of old.
She does. Oh, he has lots of extra ones now, especially when there used to be 6 of us, and now there are only 4.
The old
Used
dishes
to be 3.
and not the extra ones? Oh, broken cups with no handles. Or is it cups with no handles? Kramer, I think we've got something here.
Oh, tell us, Mr. O'Finn.
Well, this is the way I think it happened. The lady who brought the tray of dishes in from the kitchen is a frugal, hard-working woman who for many years has managed to support herself by running this boarding house. She has had to save and thrift for many years and be very careful of her possessions. That's why the cups are without handles. She picked the cups whose handles were already broken because she knew in advance that she'd be dropping them and breaking them.
How did she know that?
Because she knew there would be a corpse in the room even before she entered. So what, she asked herself, was the sense in breaking her best dishes?
Mr. O'Finn, that's very clever. That's exactly what I thought.
Miss Hildegard, I arrest you for the murders of Elizabeth Ellsworth and Nancy Norton.
Was it really you, Hildegard?
It was really me. And here all this time, I thought it was you, Lucy.
Well, I suspected Amanda.
I picked Bertie. Isn't that amazing? None of us thought it was Hildegard.
very sorry, but I'm glad you understand. Now you'll have to come along now.
With you?
With me.
Oh, how wonderful!
You're the lucky one, Hildegard.
Yes, we envy you, Hildegard.
Dennis, can't your friend Kramer take the old lady to jail? We have something else to do, remember?
I stand on my rights as a citizen. I insist that Mr. O'Finn be my escort.
I'll be your escort, Miss Hildegard.
Thank you. May I go get my hat, please?
Sure, go get your hat.
Very
But it's a
good,
sunny
sir.
day, and you wouldn't want to be getting freckles and ruining your complexion.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, Kramer, that about wraps it up. I'm relieved, I'll tell you
I'm
that.
glad too, Dennis. Now you can spend all your time with me.
Well, here I am. And Miss Rogers, I may not be around at the time of the ceremony, so here's a little wedding present ahead. Oh,
A box of candy. Well, thanks.
That's very nice of you, Miss Hildegard.
I want you to promise me one thing, Dennis. Will you promise?
Sure, I'll promise.
I absolutely forbid you to eat any of the candy in that box. I want Miss Rogers to eat every bit of it. Well, come along now. Off to
Arsenic in that candy. Until I read the obituaries, I was kind of sorry for Jane. Well, I was glad, though, I didn't have to marry her. It solved one of my problems. But I still had another one. You see, I didn't trust those 3 old ladies that were left. Well, they had had so much fun with those other murders that I was afraid they might try it again. So I did the proper thing. Well, I didn't want any more murders on my conscience. So I transferred to the arson squad. Well, you know what that is. Checking on fires and such. And I made it a point to tell Miss Lucy, Miss Samantha, and Miss Bertie that I wouldn't be in homicide anymore. I'd be in arson.
Oh, Finn, there's a fire we should be investigating. Address is 909 Sycamore, a boarding house for old ladies.
Schreiber is our director, and she's worked very hard this last month and a half. She has not only worked during school, but she's had a play of her own, The Wall of Fire, and Stained Glass Theater. She was Vern Harrington. Come on up here. And besides that, she worked 2 or 3 hours with us about every night. And when we got lazy, you know, she kept going at us, and we'd like to give her these flowers. And
Where are they all at?
Very good, Amy.
Amy?
Did you tape that whole thing?
Yeah, they taped it last night, I know. For. Yeah.
Did they bang you up against the sunlight?
I got them. Where's JC at?
Should we have to go for ourselves? How do you want to stand? Gold or what? Oh,
Oh, I got your earring in my pocket because I couldn't get it on.
I don't know.
It's your...
They look soft when they came out of the oven. Hey, bread? Put bread in there.
Hey, Glenda, nice.
Sammy.
Man, your grandpa and grandma and their kids look a lot like you guys.
That's us. At Similar City.
Oh,
Tell me you knew that, JC, please.
seriously. Hey, you got like a place out in the grass that you got little leak or something, I could wash this off with.
A leak?
We got a bathroom you can use.
Sure do. You really?
Right there for mom. She's the tour guide.
Are you the tour guide?
There's no
On the
bathroom.
bathroom.
Boom, 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 boom.
Hey, where's your bag, Miller? Where's Miller?
Don't leave the house girlfriend in the car.
Well, if there's room, I wouldn't mind watching. Well, they probably want to watch it themselves.
That's right.
You guys cozy over there? I think I'm gonna ride the bicycle.
Man, when you ride that, you feel like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Really?
Right down here.
Oh, I want to.
Jump on her, Carrie. We won't laugh.
She wants.
Yeah, you see right. Okay.
Hey, Miller. No. Hi.
Steal on my cheek.
This thing can feel good.
Hey, whoever's gonna get more soda.
I grab it.
Yeah.
Pop!
Women do
Yeah,
not.
there you go.
Hey, he's right.
Do not serve.
Down in the beauty.
No. Okay, women serve, but men kiss butt, right?
It's women. Yeah, you might as well.
I got you, buddy.
I need to finish this out.
Oh, no, brother.
I'll just finish out the roll. I'll just walk around and finish it out.
Amy, you favor.
I slayed hard of these, Travis. I slayed hard of these.
Did you?
JC take this camera and do what he did one day at home.
Come on, Amy, get out of the way.
Well, hi Sharon and Karen and
You are in the insect play.
Push right there.
You can hold this one.
Come on, Carrie. Out of the way.
Actually, it's not my play.
JC's in there.
JC, let me in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Huh?